Hi there, everyone. Sorry about that intro. Didn't want to play for me today. Right. How is everyone today? I'm not going to be on here long tonight because don't know what it is. I've come back from my daughter's about 5 o'clock, and I've just felt so tired, so tired. Maybe a little bit after 5, maybe about 5:30. But I've just gone. You know where you sit, you can be fine 1 minute, and then you're sitting there, and then all of a sudden you just got this wash of tiredness over you. That's been happening a lot lately. And so I set my alarm to go at 7:45 on my phone, on my watch. So I just lay down for half an hour and shut my eyes because I thought, fuck, I am so tired. I need to sleep. So I don't think the weather's helping either because it's so dull and cloudy and wet. My cats aren't happy with the weather either because they can go out. The window was open today. It's been shut since I've come home now. But they won't go out in the rain. And I don't blame them. So, but I've got a load of buttercups growing in my garden now. The dandelions have gone. They're still there, but they're not growing no more. How about that? Feckin' buttercups. I don't mind buttercups because they're nice to look at. Buttercups and daisies, I don't mind. Dandelions, the bane of my life. So, I was watching this thing about gardening, about weeds in your garden, how to get rid of them today. On dandelions, I have got to get one of them things. It's like where you shove it in the ground and it grabs hold of it from on the root and pulls it out at the roots. But I know if I do that, I'm going to have a lot of big patches where there's no grass. But it's the bloke who's did the video. So don't worry about leaving patches because all you got to do is let your grass grow a little bit longer. So don't keep it short. Just keep it a nice height, but not too short. And that way the light won't get to the root, to the soil below. And the grass will take it over again. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't like my grass too long. But we'll see. But I am going to do some on the side of my house. I've got this area on the side of the house which I've never known what to do with it. It's like someone used it as, it was like not a raised bed and plant, but area, but it was a planting area. But when I moved in, it was just overgrown and all weedy. So when I was watching this other thing today about gardens and about weeds and whatever, and it said, if you've got a small area, don't put that like the underlay thing down, that sheeting down. So just get loads of cardboard, get these big weeds out, the rooted ones out, which I will, and then anything else that is rooted, get all that out, then put the cardboard down over that area so no sunlight gets on it. Water it, really soak this cardboard once it's down on the ground. And then, don't do it if you're doing gravel. Don't work with gravel, right? But he said then, if you're using the bark, the bark you can buy, put that down over the cardboard about between, was it 70 centimetres to 100 centimetres deep. So it's got to be quite deep. He said, and you won't get no weeds come up. I thought, I'm going to do that. And then it was telling you about how, how you've heard me say about the weeds between my slabs and my garden. Right? He said, what you want to do is 3 things you can do. Now, this one, I've never heard of this one before, so I'm going to give it a try, but I'm going to wait for a dry day. It doesn't have to be a hot day, just a nice dry day. Get some boiling water and pour it along the edges of where the weeds are, in between the slabs. Right? Pour it over that. It kills the feckin' weeds. He said it does it within 24 hours of him. Okay. Said then when you've cleared all that, you get this like sand or grit or something. Put that in between your slabs. Sweep it in, push it in, whatever. Then hose it down. Right? Put some water over it. And it hardens up a little bit. Not much, but it hardens up. It stops the weeds coming through. I went, I'm doing that. I swear to God, if I'd have had a car, if I could have driven and had a car in my driveway, I'd bring up the fucking garden centre today, getting the bark and getting this sand and doing my fucking garden. I thought, oh my God, 2 really easy jobs. And it's only going to cost me, what, at the most 10 quid? And that's just for that gritty sand sort of thing that I've got to put in between my slabs. Oh, and my bark. I thought, I can do that. So next day we get a nice day, I'm going to do the hot water trick. And I've told my family, if you're getting your cardboard boxes, keep them back because I want them for my garden. And next week my son said he's got some time off. So if I want to go anywhere, to let him know. And I thought, okay, we can go to the garden centre. I want to go and get some, well, not a garden centre, we can go to B&Q, a place like that, and get some bark and get some horticultural sand for my grass, so that when I poke the holes in my grass there, I can put the horticultural sand over there to help with the drainage, and then buy the other sand for my slabs. Yep. Oh, I swear to God, I'm going there. And if it don't, I'm going to video it. And if it don't work, I'm going to email those guys. I'm going to find. I've got their channels. If it don't work, I'm going to say, look, you told me to hot water, and then this sand. I've done it. It's not working. So, where have we got it? Oh, God me. Have I got in chat? Who have I got? Hi, Michelle. How are you, sweetheart? So, I don't know if Anne will be here tonight because I know she's got a personal issue at home she's dealing with. I don't want to say too much. I'll let her say. So yeah, it's going to cost me about £10 to do my fecking slabs and my side of my housing. £10. Oh, well, no, about £15 because I don't know how much bark is, and I need quite a few bags of it because it's got to be like between 70 and 100 centimetres deep. So I need quite a bit of bark. But fuck it. I'm okay, just tired. What do you mean, so? What you done? Oh, say, so what you done? Oh dear. I was expecting you to say I fell or slipped and hurt my back or my ankle or my knee or something. So, yeah, I couldn't believe it when I was watching those gardeners today, and they're saying those fucking weeds. If only I'd seen this a year ago about them fucking weeds between the slabs. Hot boiling water. Just pour it over the area. Within 24 hours, you'll see them shrivel up and die. For nearly a year, I've been struggling with them paving slabs with weeds. Hoeing it down and all that lot. Fuck. I spent nearly an hour the other day doing it, And now he's telling me all you gotta do is put boiling hot water over it. I don't mind boiling the kettle 10 times if it does the trick, you know what I mean? Yeah, might not be here today. I know oh, well, I don't think so, Mum. I know her husband hasn't been well. Put it that way. He hasn't been well. So, she may not be here tonight. And I did say not to rush back because family comes first. Jen hopefully will be here later, hopefully. She tends to come in a bit later. Kylie. I don't know who Kylie. You know what? I haven't yet, Michelle. I have written it down and I have got to go and get it. It's just because I haven't been, since she told me, I've not been to any places where I can buy it. I haven't been to B&Q, I haven't been to no garden centres, nothing. So I'm planning on going to some places next week to get like the bark and the sand stuff to go between the slabs. To stop them fecking weeds coming back up my slabs again. Being chased for my sandwich and hot pot. I've been looking at dogs' homes, and they don't call them like they call them when you go and buy a dog now from the dog place. They call it adoption, which is nice. That way. And there's a dog in this one place, and he's not a puppy. He's an older dog. I think he's about 11, 12 years old. But he's very playful. He likes to play with other dogs, which is good because my daughter's dog is very playful. He's good with cats, brilliant. And he's good with children, brilliant. So I'm going to go online again tomorrow, see in the daytime, see if they've got a phone number, take the details down for this dog and see what I can do. And I think it's like, for an older dog, it's something like £250 to adopt. For a dog 8 years, I think 8 years, over 8 years, it's, no, up to 8 years is like from 1 to 8 is like 300. And for a puppy, you're looking at 450. Huh? I don't want a puppy because I don't want to go through all the training of it. Puppy training, no. So don't mind a dog, I say about 2 upwards. And my daughter said, well, an older dog would be nice, Mum. I said, yeah, but with older dogs come illnesses, you know what I mean? So what do I think about the trash not being taken to the curb that night? It's an interesting fact, and it's been bugging me. It's been bugging me for days now, ever since I heard Ruby and Rich, or Rich and Ruby talk about it, mention it. And when I went back and we looked at that video the other night, I thought, why weren't there bins out on the curb? This is 3 o'clock in the morning. And the only thing I can think of is that they must get up about, say, 4:30 to go get ready for work. And they must put the bins out when they get up. That's the only thing I can think of as to why their bins weren't put out on the curb. Unless unless that footage wasn't Sunday night. But I think everyone has overlooked that about the bins. Because I've heard no one else mention it apart from Rich and Ruby. They're the only ones that mention it, and I thought, bins. And I'm still trying to find that picture I've got of the trash truck going past their house. It was a photo from the ring doorbell from across the road, and it's got the photo of in it. It's got the trash bin going past their house, and it's all lit up like a Christmas tree. Yeah. And I thought, hold on, you can see their driveway. I'm sure you can see the front of their driveway. Unless they was in use. What do you mean by that? Because you're still going to need them emptied. So it's like our bins are emptied on a Sunday, right? So you see everyone. And the bin men come round here about, 8 o'clock in the morning? I've known them come round later. About 9, because I've seen them some Sundays. Because I thought, fuck, they're late. Right? So they come round about 8 o'clock in the morning. Everyone. I put my bin out normally on a Saturday. About 8:30. Right? And I can guarantee you, everyone has got their bins out. Everyone. But I'm trying to find that I've been going through all my photos, all my pictures, everything. I know I've got that picture somewhere. I've just got to find it. If not, I've got to go onto Mob Crew again and try and find the video where it's talking about it and showing that picture. So if anyone's watching this on replay or whatever, and they have got a picture of that trash bin going past Chris and Katie's house on the Monday morning, if you've got a picture of that, could you send it me, please? At crimeandjustice66@gmail.com. I am looking, but I've got after 5 a.m. the trash came. Right. I know they used to come about 6ish, 6:30, but that neighbour said they used to coincide with the school buses coming at 6:45. So there's always a bit of who went first, the buses or the trash, you know what I mean? And that's why they started coming earlier, before the school bus. But that's the only thing, 2 things I can think of as to why their trash bins were still on the drive. And that is because they either get up fecking early on the Monday morning to go to work. And some people, if they've got to leave at 6 a.m., around about 6 a.m. to get to work, they're going to get up about 4:30. So they put it out then. Me, even if I was getting up at 4, I'd still put my bin out the night before. Because I wouldn't want the aggro of having to go out and put my bin out in the morning. I'll just only get up, drink as many cups of coffee as I can, to wake up, get a shower, get myself washed, get myself dried, and out the door. Exactly, Michelle, because Sebastian never put those trash bins out that week. Plus, his scent would have been on them from previous weeks, unless it's been raining, could possibly wash the scent off. But if he'd only put them bins out the night before, on a Sunday, his scent would have still been on them bins somewhere. Because the dogs hit on the post box, and that was where he went on the Saturday on the way back, gets out the van, out the car. His mum goes up the driveway, he gets the post out, he skips along to the front door, then stops, turns round, and goes back towards the garage. And I was always thought, what the fuck? Why didn't he just go through the front door? He's got the key code. Why didn't he just use the front door? Unless, and then you got the neighbour saying after he went missing, Katie was putting blankets and everything on the porch in case he came back in the night, through the night. Why leave him out there on the porch when he's got the key code to get in? Unless they changed the code and I hadn't told him. Yes, yes, there would be scent on the ground, yes. There'd be scent all around that house. Because don't forget what I just said. He went to go to the front door, then stopped and walked back round to the garage. So there'd have been his scent going into the garage. From what I understand, the dogs got the scent inside the house, got the scent inside the garage. But as soon as they come to that garage door line, there was no scent of Sebastian outside that garage. No scent. Yeah, but KP was working. He used to let himself in because KP was working, remember? That's how I know for a fucking fact. I don't care what CP and KP say. I know Sebastian used to go over to that construction site while his mum was still at work. Because a neighbour who was living there, when they went door to door the day he went missing, said she'd seen the lad, she knew the lad, right? Because she'd seen him in the area before, walking around the area before, just not that Monday. She hadn't seen him on that Monday, but she had seen him previous. And then you got CP sitting there saying, oh, no, he's never been to that construction site. We've took him in the car, but he's never gone by foot. But we've got a neighbour who lives there saying, yes, I've seen that lad in this area, walking around here. He did know the code to the house. But I think they changed it and she just hadn't got round to telling me. So I'll tell you something. Why is it YouTubers? Okay, we have the time to sit there and go through every interview, every word that is said, and break it all down. But we picked up on the red flags very early. Within that, by they did the interview with Duchess on the 3rd. They did the interview with WSMV4 on the 4th. That interview went out on the 4th as well. Right? So if we could see the discrepancies in that one interview, the first face-to-face interview they ever did, why did the police not see this? And if so, why didn't they act on it? Overall, in my opinion, allegedly, speculation, whatever bullshit you want to say. But I think, I now believe Sebastian didn't make it home that Sunday. Right? There was some sort of discussion going on at the Texas Roadhouse. You could see that. You could see he was uncomfortable. He was looking down a lot. He was rushing his food. And he was looking down. He wasn't keeping eye contact with his mum. He was looking down, fiddling with his fingers sometimes. He wasn't comfortable at that Texas Roadhouse. He comes out. He sees someone he knows standing by the car. He walks, turns around to his mum as though to say, "What are they doing here?" Right? He then gets guided round to the other side of the car. So I think there was a discussion going on inside the Texas Roadhouse. I think Sebastian was told by his mum, perhaps when he got in the car, "We'll take you to your dad's then. You could go to your dad's." Right? But I then think on the way home, they've stopped somewhere. Because if she didn't get home till 7 o'clock, which I think is about the right time, not 7:15, 7 o'clock, because of what Sonny, the ex-sheriff, said, the late sheriff said, right? I think she's getting about 7-ish. That means it took her 35 minutes to drive home. It's a 15-minute drive. Either way, whichever way she went, approximately 15 minutes. Either way. Right? So, I don't think he got home Sunday night. I think there was a hangover. I think Chris was involved with the hangover. Where they took him, I do not know. I can't put my finger on it, but you know that Village Hills place, that mobile home place, which is 18 minutes drive from where they live. 18 minutes. Do they still own the lot there? Lot 43. Do they still have an RV or a caravan on that lot of land? Could they have took him there for the night? Right? Or kept him there for a few days until it sort of quietened down? Because I tell you, that RV park and that area was not searched, and we're going to be looking at that tonight. She called Tubby to help fix her screw up. I don't know. I think that 3-hour phone call is a red herring sort of thing. It's like she could have phoned in, right, at 9 o'clock. Perhaps he wasn't there at the beginning, but he was definitely there later on, because she made that phone call at 9:30 p.m. What was that phone call for? Right? If you've already done a handover of your child to someone else, why are you phoning him at 9:30 for 3 hours? Right? The only reason that phone call, if she was going to phone her husband, is if something happened in the house and she needed help. That one. Which meant Sebastian did make it home that night. Oh no, I don't think he's been kept there that long. I think he was only kept there for a few days. A week at the most. And I still honestly believe I do honestly believe that Katie thought they was just going to put him into hiding for a couple of weeks because of how she spoke to Chris in the interviews about it. When she said, but they haven't found him yet. Meaning, why haven't they found him yet? They haven't found him yet. Why? Right, so I think then, after that first week, after that one interview on the 4th with WSMV4, I think then she was told the truth. But I also believe it's like, well, if you say anything, you're going down as well. Because you're the one who instigated this. You're the one who wanted him out the house for a few weeks. You're the one who started the ball rolling on this. And that's why she isn't saying anything. Too much activity for simple getting rid of just evidence, cams and... They may not have been getting rid of evidence. It may have been them dropping off his clothes and shoes, and she's just getting them off him and bringing them back to the house. You know what I mean? It could have been a switch. She gave all the cameras and all that lot to them, and they gave her the clothes. So do you think he got home, Michelle? Do you think he got home? I did. I used to think, yes, he got home. But now I think, no, I don't think he did. Hold on, I'm going to pull up my map. Just close that window down, don't need that one. Let's pull up Google Earth. Because we're looking at the facts and we're looking at this and the speculations. Everything else is just speculation, right? Everything after the facts is speculation. So I'm just waiting for Google Earth to open up and then we can go in and have a look at the maps. Because we know they went to BJ's. We know they went to the bowling alley. We know they went to Texas Roadhouse on the Sunday. We know he was alive on the Sunday. We saw him get in the car, and that's the last time we see him, is once he got in that car. After that, there's no official sighting of Sebastian. Now there's a mention of the white car that they're looking for, the owner of the white car. Right? Now, be a bit more helpful if they told us the possible name of the person they're looking for. See, I believe most of what's out here, but security cams and surveillance videos show so much more. If work photos, they were getting rid of security cams and bulbs and other items used that night. Okay, I can see that. I really can get rid of evidence, yeah. But you only, as I picked up on that light video, you only see two lights. You see two lights move. Once it gets over to the other house, you see two lights moving. But you only ever see one light coming from her house across and one light going back. You don't see two lights coming from their house. Everyone kept saying there's two lights. And I kept watching that video and I'm thinking, I can't see two lights coming from the house. I see one light standing over in the common area. right? And I see one light coming from the house, but I don't see two lights coming from the house. So why do everyone keep saying there's two lights coming from the house when I don't see it? Yes. So he's involved in it now, whether he likes it or not. And that's why he keeps throwing her under the bus. Because she dragged him into it by saying, well, I was on the phone with him. Well, no, he didn't. She didn't, did she? He said that. He said, let me just make it clear that I was at work, but we have a phone, we phoned each other about 9:30, right up to about 11:30, 11:45. We was on the phone with each other. So he brought that up first, not Katie. So he brought himself into it by saying what he did. Because then everyone was saying, well, did you hear that thud? And did you hear Katie shout through to Sebastian? And he wouldn't answer it at first. He would not answer it. But then after a few weeks, he gave us an answer to it. Because at first he just said, well, that's up to Katie. If Katie spoke about it, that's up to her. I'm not saying anything. So, oh, Katie is the biggest manipulator of everything. She knows how to manipulate people. A family member said that. She knows how to get what she wants. She knows how to work the security cameras. She knows how to disable them. She knows everything. She's not as stupid as people think. She's very manipulative and very clever. What is showed, but when cleaned up, there's images beyond the original pictures, which is naval communications trick called steganography. Do you like throwing big words in there for me, don't you, Michelle? Steganography. Steganography. But you see, she'd know all that. So, but hold on, I'm just going to see if my Google Earth has opened up so that we can go onto there. Oh, come on, open up. If I don't stay on Google Earth, it won't go any further. Right. But it's like they had such a busy day on that Sunday, and I know for a fact if Sebastian's got autism, which I do believe he has, right? I do believe he has. It just wasn't found early. It wasn't picked up early, really early. Oh, let's put my maps up, shall I? It's in both security and surveillance. Okay, I can see you in video. That's been out for a long time. The driveway where the truck and trash cans are, yeah. Get off my screen, will ya? Fuck's sake. I've just got to customise this a bit. Put me over there. So we've got a little bit more facts now than what we first had. Like, we know for a fact there was a car in the area. We know for a fact there was 2 lights moving about. That's a fact. It's on video. We can see it for our own eyes. You can't say that isn't fact, right? But anything else? I don't know about anything else. Everything else that we've heard, like her being spotted at the gas station, talking to someone in the cars, right? Between each other's car, right? That's speculation because there's no real confirmation on that. It's just speculation. It's just what someone else is saying. Everything the neighbours have said about the arguing outside and Chris calling it Sebastian the R word and things like that. That's speculation. It's not evidence. It's not. It's hearsay. You could say that. That's hearsay. That ain't gonna go down in court. That's just hearsay. They need solid proof. And they haven't got any solid proof. The only proof they've got was sitting on their desk. And that's from the CPS reports. The child psychologist or counsellor or whatever at the school hit their reports. The doctor's reports, the psychologist or whatever he was seeing himself, they've got their reports. The fact that in one of the reports, I think it's the school counsellor one, Sebastian reports how him and his mum don't actually sit and talk to each other. And I could quite believe that after seeing him in the Texas Roadhouse. But something I've seen today, and I'm not sure if it's a new or if it's an old video that 2002 put out, hindsight. But it says, do you know this person? And everyone was saying, I remember that picture coming out. And people go, oh, could this be Sebastian? Could this be Sebastian? I'm okay, that ain't Sebastian. Right? Because at the time, Sebastian was sitting with his mum. So we know it wasn't Sebastian. Right? But, do you remember that relative? That pervy, that pedo guy? Who everyone said could be involved in the disappearance of Sebastian. You remember that relative of, is it Chrissy's? I think it could be him. I'll try and find it later. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it now. Open up for me. Since chat ever to open anything up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to go onto a site to find it. Right, so let's go down to the house, right? It's off here. Ground zero, right? Come on, zooming. Oh, starts off there. Now, allegedly, doorbell here, ring doorbell, catches their driveway, right? And also their front doorway, which I don't think it would, right? However, I think this house has got a ring doorbell. Come on. I hate Google Maps. Google Earth is so slow. Can't see it from here. Right, let's come out again. Just go back a little bit. No, you're not going to see anything. Right, but I thought, if anything, this house here, if it's got a camera, a ring doorbell, that is going to be the one that will catch his bedroom window, the living room window, and the front door. Because don't forget, you got this bit of area of their house that juts out. So I don't see how that doorbell on that house could catch their front door, living room, or bedroom. Might catch the bedroom, the light coming on, but it's not going to catch anything else because of this bit here that juts out. My opinion was done on purpose to digitally hide events of night and the true area it may have happened. Because there's no way it came out that front door. Chris from the mob crew, I was watching him a while ago, and he said he believes they come out the front door. No, because there's no sighting on any of the ring doorbells of anyone leaving that house. Chris said himself, if anyone went to their front door, you wouldn't see who it was, but you'd see a shadowy person. So if you're going to see a shadowy person going to the front door, you're going to see a shadowy person leaving. Now, bear in mind as well, right? Sebastian won't walk on grass. He's got an allergy to grass. So if he comes out this way, he's not going to come down here and walk that way. He's got to go along the path, down the drive, and along the road. I've gone out too far now. Alright. So he's going to come out there, down the drive, and along the road because he's got an allergy to grass. Even if he did walk out the house without no shoes on, even if he did manage to get out the house without being seen on this ring doorbell, and I believe they've got a ring doorbell, right? Or this security camera. Don't forget, as I said, if he's walking, yeah, he's walking on the road. He won't be walking on the grass. Light here. If the car set it off, and I mean the car, then someone walking past here is going to set it off as well. That camera will come on, and it will be seeing a shadowy person, if anything, going past. Right? And then you manage to get past all these areas, all these houses, right? And I know most of them ring doorbells. I no longer check them, right? And I know, and the police have said, if you are to believe what the neighbours have said, that the police said they've seen the car reverse out of it. I know there's a camera over on this house. So that camera will just pick that car up there as well. Right, and that camera over here will just seen that car reverse up. We'll just seen people getting in the car, if those getting in the car there. It's seen the car pull away. And then they said they know where it turned right, this way. So it means doorbell over here, if they've got a ring doorbell or security camera, they've got on their camera showing the car that way. Right? We don't know if they've got cameras at these houses here. We don't know if these houses caught anything. But that is what it said. They said they've seen the car reverse round the corner and pull away down up the road out, turning right. When tucking out the windows in front of they cover with a drop cloth in areas where but what I don't get, Michelle, is I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm not. It's like I don't see how using a lift of any sort to get a person out of a house without leaving any trace or anything, fine. But I can't see that happening because why was it not caught on any cameras? Why was it not caught on any of these ring doorbells? If it catches the trash can bin men going past, it's going to catch someone using a hydraulic lift or something outside the house. But we know Katie was in this area. Oh God, I keep doing that. We know Katie was in this area. We got a perfect picture of you, Katie. You may think, oh, I was all in black, no lights in that area. But Michelle did some brilliant work and she caught you a treat, sweetheart. I love that picture. I feel like getting it enlarged and putting it in a frame. Because I absolutely love that picture. Because it shows KP in this area. And that was from the 3 a.m. light video. Right? Now, bearing in mind, Katie said she was fast asleep. She was asleep by 12 p.m. By midnight, she was asleep. Right? So at 3 a.m., she's fast asleep, snoring her little heady off. No, you weren't, KP. We've got a picture of you in the round here somewhere. 3 past 3. But somewhere about that time. We've got the picture. So Katie comes out of the house. Now, did she come out the back? She didn't come out the front way because ring doorbells were seeing her or seeing something, but nothing was seen. So she's come out the house. Was it the back way or was it through the crawl space? I'm thinking she came out the back way. I did think she was coming through the crawl space, but the reason I say I believe she come out the back way is because that's right, Michelle. Thank you. I really wish I kept my early picks. I did in this case now that I've gotten a bit better at doing some of those early picks were brilliant, Michelle. That one picture I do, I really want to. I feel like getting it printed up and putting it in a fucking frame and putting it on my wall here in front of my on the wall where I sit and look at where my laptop is. So, let's just get this over here. Get this over. So, I think because there's no way could she get over that fence if she's carrying a body. I'm sorry. You may be fit enough to carry a body, but you're not going to get over that fence. You're not. Right? I think. Now I'm going to have to go back. I'll keep doing that. I don't know why. Go back down. Oh. I think she's come out the back way. And there's a fence just here. And that fence runs up here. It takes you over and around that ditch. Because if you walk along the side of her fence up to here, you're laying along the edge of the ditch. So you haven't got to go down into the ditch, you haven't got to jump it. And that's why when we see them lights, that one light, it comes on and off, because she's coming through the trees. There's trees, the light's being hidden by the trees, flickers on, flickers off, because the light's hiding it. She then comes out about here. Boom, she's out. We see that light there, right? That light then goes over to this unknown light here. I think the plan was to come down to the car. I really did. But then they realised this sensor light came up. When they pulled up, they come up and come round that corner, they turned round, lights on. Right? So, and that's why this sensor light, it wasn't the car that set that light off. It was the lights. As soon as them lights come on that car, this sensor light come on. It triggered the sensor light. Because as soon as the lights come on. Oh no, hold on. If you watch that video. I'm going to have to watch that video. Oh, get off my screen. They took Winger completely out. It was lying against a tree that night. Next morning it was completely gone. Oh, okay. But why go to all that, right, to get a child out of the house? A much easier way is to take him down into the crawl space, pull him through and bring him out through the crawl space area. Because this area here Where is it? This area here is a blind spot. There's no cameras. Door. And don't forget, these were all big trees, like it is there. Right? Let me say they're full of foliage. They may not have been, but there's no clear angle, right? Because if this house has got a ring doorbell, it's going to catch up to theirs and over, right? If it's got a ring doorbell, it's not going to catch that area because it's in the way. So that is not going to catch that viewing. It's only going to catch there. Catching the side of the house. So the easiest to get him out without being seen is through the crawl space. But I think this has been planned weeks before. I really do. I think it was planned. Why not go? Why did he not go missing on the Friday night, or the Monday night before, or the Tuesday before, or whenever? Why was he reported missing on that morning? That day he was reported missing was the 8th or 9th anniversary of their divorce. That's a kick in the teeth for anyone, isn't it? It's not just the day we got divorced, love. It's the day your son went missing as well. What a kick in the teeth. One way of getting back to your partner, isn't it? She didn't want Sebastian going back to his dad's. She did not want Sebastian going to his dad's. Why? He couldn't have been that bad a person. If he was such a bad father, and he's as bad as what people are making out him to be, how's he got a job in the as a sheriff in the prisons? Right? How did he get 50-50 custody of his son? He wouldn't have got any of that if he was that bad a father. Like she was making out to be, he was. Oh God, I've got to move this table a bit because it's annoying me because my curtains aren't sitting right. And if something isn't sitting right, it really annoys me. So, see, neighbours are used to lifts and properties being used sometimes due to upper area above garage. I don't know, because the upper area above the garage they could get to from the inside easily by walking up the stairs. You know what I mean? So there's no need for a lift to be used on the outside of the house for above the garage. Hmm. I see where you're coming from. I really do, but I just can't. I just think that is too much, putting too much into a case. I've always said keep it simple. Simple is the answer, right? Now, let's go back down here. Say Sebastian did come home. Down there, show you. Right. Now, look at the picture there, right? That is quite a big door, height-wise, right? And we know it's quite deep high there because of these vents here. As it goes around the house, they get lower, right? So we know around this area it's quite high. But around the front of the house, you see the vents, it's pretty low. Yeah? So if they're in the crawl space, say here. No, what's it there? No, not there. I need to get to the back of the house, don't I? But the back of the house, I think the vents are about the same height as these. So if he went in the crawl space there, they've got to crawl along eventually to where they can stand up. If she come out of here, right, with a body, allegedly, she could go along this fence line here, all the way along up to there, then along here. There's the fence line still of the neighbours there. That's his fence line. That neighbour behind, that's their fence line. So by going that way and along, this is the ditch here. She's going around the edge of the ditch, which means she's going over that side, which means she's now on the other side of the ditch. So she doesn't have to step down or climb down into the ditch or jump it. She's walked around it. Never leaves a trace. Well, we don't know if Katie never left a trace because the dogs never had wasn't there to follow her scent. They was there to find Sebastian, wasn't they? As I said, right? It would have been if go through crawl space, leave saying tracks. I got the answer to that one, Michelle. I got the answer to that one. On the day Sebastian went missing, a neighbour saw Katie as she's taking her kids to school. She speaks to Katie, and then she comes home after dropping her kids off at school and talks to Katie. Katie and this neighbour then go into the crawl space to have a look. Yep. They go into the crawl space. Perfect alibi as to why Katie's scent is now in there. Yes, Sebastian's scent may have been in there. But they could say, oh, he used to hiding here when he's been known to hiding here before. That's why we was looking in the crawl space. But she went in there with her neighbour. I thought, good one, Katie. You got all your footprints in there, all your scent in there. That's why I don't think Sebastian did come home that night. I think Kate's come out because coming through that crawl space herself is no problem. She could come through that crawl space easily herself. Come out of that door, go along the side of the fence, up to that fence and along. She hasn't got to jump over that ditch or nothing. But then coming back, she jumps the ditch. And you see her running across this area here. So even if Sebastian's scent had been found in there, now Sebastian's been known to hiding here before. But she made sure her scent and her footsteps were in there by going in there and having a moochie round a look. Yeah, and I witnessed how convenient. Yes. That's why I said this area, this house, wiped off from the edge here to here. The back garden and the garage side. Should have been taped off, but it wasn't. They was letting Katie go in the crawl space. And I can assure you, by the time the neighbour got back, the police were there. So why was the police letting her go in the crawl space? Why did the police let her go in the crawl space? No one should have been allowed in that house. Once the police got there, he should have said, right, everyone out. Out. This is a crime scene. Until we say otherwise, this is a crime scene. But they didn't. Yeah. Oh, yes, definitely premeditated. Because as I said, why that weekend? If things were so bad at home, why didn't he disappear before? Why didn't he disappear, I don't know, Friday or Thursday or even Saturday night? Why didn't he go Saturday night? In what case do we let persons involved do search? Exactly. But as I said, the neighbour seeing it outside as she's taking her children to school. And they start school at what? I think they said they start school, they have to be at school at 7:30. And so this neighbour seeing her about 7:45, 7 o'clock. Don't forget they got the queue line, and the parents drop up with all the cars in the line, ready to drop up, to take them in and drop them off. So there's a big queue. So they get in the queue. So they get there for about, what, 7 o'clock, drop them off, then home. So between 7:15 and 7 o'clock. So by then, law enforcement were there. Law enforcement were there by the time the neighbour got back and they did the search of the crawl space. I still think it was the brother in that case. I really do. I think it was the brother. And it was set up because I might do a video on that, on the jumping it. I'm just on my thoughts on that case. I might put a video out on that. Because that one bothers me. That one really bothers me. So I might put a video out on that one. Because the fact that they've covered it up. And as I said, and he needs the father now to clock for his clocks to pop off, you know what I mean? Pop his clocks. And then the son's in the clear. Because the son is never going to say anything. They've lost one child, they weren't going to lose another one. And the fact that apparently that room where she was found, right? The police had done a search of that basement area. Why didn't they search that room? Why was that room never searched? And then a little while later, the family go down there and they find her down there. Yeah, the son done it, and it's like, well, it was an accident, right? But we'll set it up to make it look like this has happened and whatever. Because I'm not going to lose my son. The mother will say, I'm not going to lose my son. I've lost my daughter. I'm not going to lose my son. You love that case. I could do a couple of lives on it if you're interested in it because there's a lot in that case. There's a lot to unfold in that case. But as I've always, from when I first watched the first documentary about that, right, I thought, the sun is good now. The sun. Even when he's being interviewed in in this documentary, it's just the way he is. He's got like this smirky fucking smile face, like saying, "I did it, and I'm getting away with it, you stupid fuckers." You know what I mean? He's got that stupid green thing on his face. Door had trouble opening as a rule. As rule is what was said. Right. So the police went round, searched the house, couldn't open the door, and left it. Yeah. Right. They should have cleared that house out as well. There's a possible crime happened, a kidnapping. So why was the family allowed to stay in the house? Oh, we're still having our lunch. Can you come back when we've finished our lunch? Fuck off, get them out. But yes, yeah. Yeah, but our daughter opened the policeman, a big butch police officer. Well, wasn't it a woman who went? The first person to go was a police woman, PC, a woman PC. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that again. But even so, if you can't open a door, you'd say, right, I need help with this door. Can I have something else here, please? We need other people here now on your radio. There's a door we can't open. We need to get this door opened. Yes, evil in a sweet smile. Oh, God, that green. It's like, I sat there watching it. I thought, I just want to knock his teeth down his throat. So many mistakes made on that case. And I feel sorry because John Bernard, well, I think it was, I don't believe in these pageants, right? I really, 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 really don't. I don't like the pageants. I don't like how they dress them up with all this thick caked on makeup and the hair perfect and everything. I don't like it. I like little girls to be little girls. When they get older, when they're about 16, fine. They want to do pageants, then fine. Let them do pageants. But while they're little girls, can they stay little girls? Sebastian John Bernard case very similar, only difference she was found. Yep. Because they didn't try to hide her body, they just hid the truth. They made it out as though someone else had been in there and done it. That note they left. Oh my God. What kidnapper leaves a note like 2 pages or whatever long? And it's on the windowsill on the stairs they walk down. So why didn't she see that note when she first come down in the morning? So they wasn't out to hide her body. They wanted her body found. They just did not want it to come out that the son had done it. Wasn't there snow on the ground as well? And if so, was there any footprints by that, that area where they said the person came in and came out? The person could have been in the house before while they was out, come in the house and waited until they all went to bed. But in what? But how would they know where John Benet slept? Right. So yeah, I'll do a live or so on that. Or if you want me to do a live, I'll do a live. If you want me to do a video, I'll do a video. I've got to do some more videos from my other channel. Have you signed up to my other channel? If you haven't signed up to my other channel, here's a link, everyone. If you're watching on replay, there's the link. Please go over and sign up. It's all free. I'll talk about everything about the injustices of cases, of crimes. And there's a lot going on at the moment in the UK. Oh, yeah. So I've got to do a few more videos on that. Oh, come on. Exactly. If there's snow on the ground, wouldn't they find prints walking up to that metal grid and things like that? Be a good one to do, just to shake it up a bit. Yeah. The father's on his way out, isn't he? Yeah, he ain't got much longer. Will he tell all on his deathbed? Will he admit to it? Will he take the blame for it? It wasn't the father, it wasn't the mother, it was the son. Yeah, I'll do a video on, I'll do a live on that. Because that one's, there's so much to look at in that case. Heard it bad over there for a long while. Oh, it's like, you know that saying, I'm on the crazy train, I want to get off. I've been wanting to get off this crazy train for about 5 years now. Easily. Well, I thought I got off it by moving up to Scotland. I did. I honestly thought I got off that crazy train when I moved to Scotland. But it's still affecting everyone. And we've got another what? 2-3 years of our Prime Minister. Yeah, the spider was not disturbed. So how on earth did someone climb in and out that grid thing? Moving the grid thing out the way, climbing down, getting in through the window, then using the case to get out the window. But you got in it okay, but you couldn't get out of it. Right? And there's no footprints, nothing, no disturbance around that area, nothing. What was he? A magician, and he just floated in. That's why I say that was the son. And he actually mentioned that. He says people mention how I have this smile on my face, and it's just a nervous smile. I went, no, it ain't. That's you saying, I've done this, you fuckers, I'm getting away with this, you fuckers. You know what I mean, you stupid fuckers? I'm getting away with this. Really? Oh, if you find it, I'll have a look for that myself. But if you find it, can you send it me? Thank you. So, anyway, back to the Sebastian case. I truly believe it's got something to do with that court case. Truly believe it has something to do. It had something to do with that court case, and I truly believe Katie thought Sebastian was just going to be took out their home for a few weeks, couple of weeks, and then miraculously just jump somewhere and be found. Right? But then I think she's been told the truth, but been told if you say anything, you're going down because you're the one who orchestrated all this. You're the one who got the ball rolling. Right? So that is it. Only that's what That's my opinion anyway, because I think she's either come out the back door and over the fence, and then along this fence line here, right up to the top there, along the fence line there. By there, she's now the other side of that ditch. So she doesn't have to climb it, right? And then once she's come past that, as you say, that light, you see that light going in and out, and when that video first came out, Nick Berry said it could be where the torch is on, but being hidden by trees as whoever's got the torch is walking. Yes, it's being hidden by these trees here. Then all of a sudden she pops out here. Right? She goes over there for a second or a couple of seconds. I think the plan was to get in the car here. Right? I know I've got unknown car there. I'll actually edit that. No, come back. Need to edit that. Get that off. Oh, for fuck's sake. Edit. Just so I can move it over a little bit. Right. Right, so you've got the car there. We know it's around there because that camera, it said it was opposite his post box, and his post box is just there. So the car was parked around here. That sensor light came on when that car first pulled up, but didn't catch anything. It's only when the lights come on, a few seconds, like a minute or so later, to then reverse round, that it caught the outline of a car. You can see an outline of a car. So I think the plan was to come down to the car there, but the light set it off. They thought better. So they've gone back round that way, reversed round. This person here, who got out the car here, because they said the car stopped there first and then come round the bend. I think the car stopped, someone got out, went there, Kate's come, oh look, jiggle, 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 chop, 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 over the community area. Oh yes, Katie, and you was trespassing. Because that is their land, not yours. That's their community area, not yours. Trespassing. Right? So she then comes over here, passes whatever to this person, and gets in the car. Boom, they go away. Never to be seen again. Now, when we talk about that vehicle, the what was it now? That geo-tracking. So you think we will see his case solved before his third anniversary of him going missing? Well, I've got 2 points on that. He'll either turn up after his 18th birthday, so any time after the 7th of December he's going to turn up, right? But I thought they had the 3-year thing in Tennessee, but they don't, it's 7 years. So I think now, I think any time after his 18th birthday he's going to turn up, either dead or alive. They're going to find him. And I think if they find him alive, and I think they might, because of what Chris said, if they find him, it will be classed as a misdemeanor because he'll be 18. CPS reports will all be closed because he's now 18. Right? They'll be closed. FBI definitely won't step in then. Unless he's found unalived. And then the FBI might step in. And depending on where he's found. Hi, Kylie. Right? So I think any time after his 18th birthday. Because if it's found now, he's still a child. So they'll be going, well, where's he been? And they'll be wanting to talk to him. But they'll still be wanting to talk to him when he is found. But he doesn't have to talk to them. He's 18. He doesn't have to tell them where he's been. He doesn't have to tell them anything. But you see, they could be saying to him, well, when we release you, if you tell them where you've been, you'll go to prison. Right? You say that enough to someone who's been kept in captivity, hidden away from everything he knows and everyone he knows for 3 years. He's going to start believing it. So he'll leave that house. He can leave that property wherever he's been held and not say a thing because he'll be too scared to say anything in case he goes to prison. Because they say, look, you're 18 now, you could go to prison. Because they're manipulative like that. They know how to work. They know how to manipulate things, both her and CP. My watch is telling me to stand up, but my watch can go and feck off. My legs are hurting as it is. So, they get in the car and they drive away. Now, that's what we know is fact. That is fact. That someone got into that car and they drove away. And fact is, someone then went back to the house. That someone was KP. Because he's the only one in the house that night. She plonks herself straight in the middle of it. She's told them, no one else is in this house, just me and Sebastian. So for 3 years, nearly, well, 2.5 years, we've been chasing shadows, yeah? We've been chasing shadows over here. Because of what Chris was saying about the water being only knee deep. Right? We've been chasing shadows with the car activity over here in the cemetery. It's weird that there was activity over here on a Saturday night and then on a Sunday night. Early hours Monday morning. So early hours Sunday morning and early hours Monday morning, there was activity over here. Why? Could it be something to do with Sebastian? I don't know. But if that was the case, then that meant Sebastian got home. If this was a possible handover here at the cemetery, then and it was Sebastian they took to the car, right? And then they drove. But Sebastian, this all happened round by the house at like 3:10 in the morning. This all happened round here, round the cemetery, about 3:45 in the morning. So where they've been for like 35 minutes. Because all the activity started round here about 3:45 in the morning. Could it have been kids pranking about with the cars and whatever? Could it have been some drug dealers? I did think on stage, if he is buried, could he be buried over here somewhere? I really did. And I did like the fact that they was looking into that area. But nothing come up. They did a good search, nothing's come up. They did everything. Nothing come up there. nothing come up here. So it's hard to say. And was that Kathy over at Worshams? Was it her car at 4:45 in the morning? Was it 5:45, sorry, in the morning? But why would she be there that early if they was doing a handover? She didn't need to be there at 5:45 in the morning. Because Katie didn't leave till about 25 past, 6:30 in the morning with her car. Right? We know that because it's on camera. Her leaving the house. Her leaving the road. So we know it was about 6:30 that she left with her car to go looking for Sebastian. So why would Kathy be parked up over here at 5:45 in the morning? That doesn't make sense to me. Right? Did they own a storage unit? Could have had them in there. But all this, what I'm saying now, means that there was a handover in the morning, right? And say he was put in one of these storage units, allegedly. This all means he got home on Sunday. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I'll do a live on that. I'll do a live. Because that case is so complicated as well. But I've always said from the first time I heard about that case and the first time I watched see on it, I thought, that's the brother. And the fact that she had pineapple in her stomach, or was it? She had pineapple in her stomach when they did the autopsy. And they found pineapple in her dish, didn't they? And we know the son used to love to eat pineapple. To look up gentler. Let's just see what it says. Look in dark or background. I'm looking at that picture you sent me. Look in dark or background. That's the house, so it's not there, it's over here. But it's definitely weird their bins are there. Because why have they not put their bins out? Questions, questions. Sent me 2 videos, right? Okay. Oh dear. Oh God, they've got a lot to say about the case. Yeah, I'll do a live on this because there's so much to cover on that case. One via radar online over its full police vehicle. Okay, thank you, Michelle. So, the facts of the case. 1. That picture, this is the other thing, that picture that they used on the FBI flyer. No way was that took on the Saturday before he went missing. No way. You compare that photo to the photo of him in Texas Roadhouse, is older than the one from Saturday. You don't age that much overnight. It's about, I'd say in that photo, I'd say is about 14. Right? And that's why I don't believe that photo that she's using on the flyer when she said to Seth, see, he's happy there, see, he's happy. Right? I think that is an older photo where the data has been redacted. The date, the time, the place has all been redacted. Because no way is that photo from the Saturday, and then you got the picture of him from the Sunday, the same. He's younger. So I don't trust that photo on the flyer. And then, we know he went out to Sunday. He went to BJ's. He got a colossal popcorn. They come home. Now, there's a bit of confusion there because people are saying she brought the niece home with her. But then we're hearing she didn't bring the niece home with her. So we don't know what is happening there. But they come home. There's no mention of him having any lunch. No mention at all about any lunch. Then they go to the bowling alley. Now, they got to the Texas Roadhouse at, they sat down about 20 to 6. So they got there about 5:30, 5:35. They didn't play anything at the bowling because there's some competitions going on. So they just went on some of the arcade machines. Don't know how true that is because we don't see that part of the video. We only see him standing at the customer service the customer service desk. So we don't really know what time they got to the bowling alley. We don't know how long they was in there for. We don't know if they went at 4:30 and left at 5:30 or 20 past 5 or what. We don't know because they've never. This is what's so annoying with this case as well. The timeline. Chris keeps saying, law enforcement have told us not to give out any times and dates and whatever. Why? Why? How's that going to hinder the case? Right? How on earth is that going to hinder the case? Knowing what time they got home from BJ's, what time they went to the bowling alley, what time they left the bowling alley, what time they got to Texas Roadhouse. Well, we know what time they got there and what time they left there. But we don't know what time they got to the bowling alley. Right? Now, did she know beforehand there was competitions going on? Because a game of bowls can maybe take, an hour for one game, maybe. So if you're going to play a game of bowls, you go and you're planning to have your dinner about, 6:15? You gotta get there for about 4:30. So you can book in, get your shoes, go, you know what I mean? And then go and play your game of bowls. So, but because they're not giving any actual time as to when they got to the bowling alley, that's another sticky point with me. It's a timeline. But he's had this fantastic day at it. By all means, he had this fantastic day. Well, I know for a fact, and this is just going on my grandson. I'm going on both my grandsons. If they had a day like that, Vincent isn't too bad. My eldest grandson he's a bit easier, right? But Ellis, if he had a day like that, if he went out in the morning, then come back, yeah, I'd want some feckin' lunch, even though it's like a colossal popcorn. He'd want some lunch, right? And B, trying to get my grandson to go out again is torture. Absolute torture. He won't do it. He's been out once, I'm not going out again. It's like when he goes to school, he'll go to school, he'll come home, but he don't want to go out after school. He doesn't. It's torture to get him to go out again. I hope there is no 3 year. I hope he's found very, very soon, because this is just getting out of hand. You know what I mean? It's like they're not telling us anything, and we're just picking up bones now. We're chasing shadows, and we're getting nowhere. But this is what they want as well. They want us to think, you know what, we're not getting nowhere in this case, we're not getting any information. We're chasing shadows, we'll just give up. We'll just give up. That's what they want us to do. They want this case to die slowly, so that when he's 18, no one will think about him. So then they haven't got to worry about him not turning up, because no one was looking for him. No one was talking about him. But there's 4 people involved in this case. 4 people who definitely are involved. That's KP, CP, CB, and TB. I don't think there's anyone else involved. Right? Who's the person in the white truck they're looking for? Be helpful if they said they've tried to contact that person in the white truck. Well, why don't you give us his name? They did say they was looking for someone, and if they didn't come forward, they're going to out them. Out them. Tell us his name. So they know the name of the person because they said they tried to contact that person in the white truck. And why don't they just put out his name? And then if he comes forward and says, well, you've just plastered my name all over YouTube, blah, 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 or all over X, blah, blah, blah. Well, we did phone you. We have tried to get in touch with you. We've even put a message out asking you to get in touch. But you didn't. So if you got nothing to hide, why weren't you coming forward? Michelle, that Splash the Rescue Otter, that's too much for me. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Splash the Rescue Otter? What have I missed? right? And then we've got this area. So we've covered that area. I don't think that was Kathy up there. Not 5:45. We know she did lie because she did say, "Oh, I didn't get to the house till gone 10 o'clock in the morning." Well, that's a lie, isn't it, Kathy? Because you were sitting at the house at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? No, close that down a minute. Come back. Let's just close that down a minute. I can watch that later. If I'm not in bed, that is. Oh, yeah. So I don't think that was Kathy at 5:45. Yeah, 5:45 in the morning. I know there's 3 people who said they're seeing her car, but what would she be doing parked up around here at 5:45 in the morning? When even if there was a handover, KP didn't get there till gone 6:30 in the morning. So she's sitting around there for 45 minutes. Yeah, right. Unless it was Kathy there and Katie was supposed to have been there for, say, 6 o'clock in the morning. As soon as she realised, oh, Sebastian's not here, and getting a car and go driving around, right? But I still don't see that being Kathy at 5:45 in the morning. Down, license plate reader. It only catches traffic that way, right? And traffic coming this way. It doesn't catch any of this traffic or any of this traffic because it's pointing that way. So that's a good license plate reader, isn't it? I'm not sure if I marked it on the map yet. I don't think I have. Let's see. I think I don't know. I'm not sure if that was it or if it's down here. Yeah, that was it. Right, and then we've got this area down here. Hold on, let me get down here. Because that's the, right? And here we've got a pylon. Right? We've got the yellow and black sign. We've got a bridge. We've got the creek. Yeah? And then we got the pylon. And we was looking at this area for a long time. We covered this area. See, this creek isn't very deep. It's only deep when it's been raining a lot. Otherwise, it's fairly. It's not deep. And like when you think if a boat is being in this water, it's going to get caught, all this sort of stuff. All this stuff hanging out in the water. It's going to get in there eventually. So we've covered that area. But this area, I will go to now. Go north. always resetting off so then I know what I'm doing. Alright. Right. Area of interest here. Now here is the garage, the gas station. We call them petrol stations. In the US they call them gas stations. Just putting some gas in the car. We're just putting petrol in the car. We're just burning away money. We'd like to burn our money. Right? Now this gas station. Someone allegedly said they saw Katie pull up next to another car and was talking to someone. The person gets out of that car, comes round and gets into her car. Now, what I'm saying here is rather, what is it? Not speculation, it's, I'm tasting bubbles. What is it? It's not speculation, it's not, I can't think what it is now. I've just said it earlier and I can't think what it is. Evidence-wise, it's, I can't think what it is now. Anyway, she was seen there. But that, in my eyes, is just speculation. We don't know for fact Katie was there. But what is weird is if Katie was seen there, this is the area which is very open. Silver's been there. This area is really quite open. Right? Area of interest. This is the area where there's a lot of animal bones. Oh God, come on. This is the area where there was a lot of animal bones. Now, Silver's on the scene, walked through here. There isn't, right, there's a stream that goes through it, but I'm not sure it's part of Drake's Creek. It might be. No, Drake's Creek over there. Great. Creek is over here somewhere. Yeah. Alright. So Drake's Creek is over here. But there is a little creek in this area. Because he finds it. And it's here. If we can zoom in. I think this is where that little creek was he found. Yeah, I think that is where the creek is. Yeah. That's where that little creek was there. But that is an area of interest. That is where I think, possibly, if there was a hangover, that is where it was. But then again, what would it not show up on the live 360? Yeah, allegedly. Allegedly. That is what I think. That's just my, pardon me, that's just my opinion. If there was a hangover, this is where I think allegedly the hangover was here. If the hangover went drastically wrong, this is where I think it went wrong. because I don't know, it's just something about that area. It's off the street, so you can't see directly what it was. Forgot to tell you, if you can't remember, my crew is I Go For Stuff has a video at Grub Truck. Oh, okay. See, I subscribe to a lot of channels, but I just don't become members because, as I said, I don't get to watch them all the time. There's so many I need to watch. And you probably heard me say, oh, I've got to catch up on all these videos, all these lives I'm missing. Because there were so many. Sorry, hold on. And funny, it all comes down to ID of green hoodie. Yes, that person in the green hoodie was acting very suspiciously at Texas Roadhouse. Right? The movement of that person, how they cut across the car park, stood between her car, and then went into Texas Roadhouse, didn't buy anything, didn't say anything to anyone, went to the bathroom, come back out, cut through the car park again, cut across over to the other side of the car park. A few seconds later, you see I'm walking back again. Then a minute or so later, whatever, you see a car pull away. Now that is sus. Especially when you're standing between two cars, and one of those cars is KP's. That is sus. That was not his sister. That was someone else. I only done one time. We cancelled it 3 days later. Oh, God. No, I have done, but then I've cancelled them because I thought, you know what, I'm wasting money because I'm not getting the full benefits of it. So it's okay if you're gonna watch the videos, but again, he comes on quite late for me, Michelle. I'm normally in bed by the time his lives come on. So really, so I don't catch any of his lives. The only time I used to occasionally catch a live of his, and that was if I was still up at like midnight or 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Same as Seth when he does his lives. I'm thinking I can never catch his lives because when he has done them, because I'm always in bed. I always have to watch on replay. You know, in all BS on YouTube. Why would I pay for it? So she can't even have a smoke. Really? Oh God. I'll tell you something. People will notify me because the first thing I'll stop is my coffee. I won't drink coffee. I'll drink juice, like the diluted stuff, not the fizzy stuff. The diluted stuff. So if any of my family came and they saw me drinking juice, they know I'm not well. Yeah, I'm losing faith in him. If it wasn't for GPT, where would he be? Is that what he uses a lot? He uses Chat GPT. I don't know how that works. I've gone onto it and I'm thinking, what? And I've typed in things about Sebastian's case and everything, and I'm thinking, really? So I never think of Chat GPT. Yes. Hi, Jen Jane. Yes, thank you, Jane. Yes, I do believe that green hoodie is KP's mother. Because when Sebastian walked out, he seen that person standing there. He didn't turn to walk away, as though, like some people say, it's fight or flight. Yeah, it wasn't that. It was, what's that person? Why are they here, Mum? Sort of thing. So he knew the person, but he couldn't understand what that person was doing there. So I still say to her mum. And the fact that law enforcement aren't chasing it up because she should not be there. She's not even allowed to leave the state she lives in, is she? Without permission. So why is she in Tennessee? If I never heard Texas Rangers, I'll be happy. Well, we'll just put a stop on Texas Rangers because we all agree, well, I hope we all agree, that green hoodie is KP's mum. Prove me wrong, KP. Prove me wrong. That's why you went running up to the Texas Rangers to get that video footage, because you didn't want us seeing that, did you? Tough. Too late, we saw it. It was your mama. But that area is where I'd say if there was a handover, if allegedly, whatever you want to call it, there was a handover, that is where I think it may have happened. If she didn't get home from till 7 o'clock, say, that's 35 minutes from pulling away in the car, 25 past till 7, that's 35 minutes. 15 minutes drive. Either way, she drove home. 15 minutes to get home. So that is where I think, allegedly, that there was a possible handover. But who was in the handover? And I think the 3 a.m. car thing, right? For all we know, that person who got, when they did the handover, perhaps someone got in the car with her to go back to the house, right? And then, no, we only see one light coming from that house at 3 a.m. One light. There's two lights, but we only see one light actually coming from the house. So I don't think Katie had anyone with her. I think she went back to the house on her own. Right? And then at 9 o'clock, 9:30, got on the phone to Chris. He could have left his phone. I think that phone call, though, Chris could not have been up here in Tennessee at 7 p.m. Because who would answer the phone in Memphis at 9:30? Yeah. When KP called her grandma, she would take the phone to her mum. Yeah. As I've said, that's why they took the drive down there. In case they had Sebastian hidden down there. In case what the grandmother was saying, how concerned she was about Sebastian being missing and all that was just a put on. So, but everything that we've mentioned tonight, up until the car pulling away and driving away, everything before that was fact. Fact. Everything after that car pulled away is speculation. We don't know the truth in any of it. Right? We've gone by clues. We've gone by every clue that I've been given. We have searched this map. Do you know, I'm still searching the map as well for, that clue that Silvers was following with the two buildings, right? The one which does that psychic who does the drawings, and he was going by her drawings. I'm still searching this map here of areas like that, where there's like maybe some construction going on and some buildings there and things like that. And I'm going back to 2024, not 2024, yeah, in the maps. This is still 2024 now here on the maps. But I'm still looking at any area that fits that drawing. Because that drawing is drilled in my head. Drilled in my head. And it's so spot on to that area where he was up in Memphis. So could Sebastian be up there somewhere? But what has Katie's mom got to do with this, if anything, then? If that is Katie's mom, which I believe it is, and so does Mob Crew and so do most of you. If you don't, then that's fine. You don't have to believe. You know what I mean? Then what has she got to do with this case? Why is she there on the Sunday night before he goes missing? I don't believe in coincidences either. So I need to look into that a bit more. Why would the mother be there the night before he went missing? Is there anywhere down by where she lives that could be in an area where he could be held? Where he could be hidden? Could that be it? I don't know. But if any hangover, it was here. This is just my opinion, everyone. This was where I think this is where the hangover was. And if anything went wrong at the hangover, this is where Sebastian came to his deadly end. I'm sorry to say. Because there's so many animal bones in that area. Unless you find a skull, you will not be able to say whether it is everyday Tom, Dick or Harry. Would not be able to say, oh, that's a fibia, or that's a tibia bone, or that's whatever bone. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be able to say because there's too many animal bones around there. But I just thought I'd talk about the facts of the case tonight because I think everyone's getting away. Seems to be losing the point of the facts. And as I said, we haven't got that many facts. Law enforcement only spoke, last time they spoke about it was in April of 2024. They've not spoken about it. They put statements out here, there, and whenever. They've not personally spoken about it, done a presser, nothing. TBI haven't ever said anything. FBI have never put anything, spoke about it. No one in law enforcement is talking about this case. And I want to know why. Why is no one in law enforcement, even Hendersonville Police Department, why aren't they talking about this? Why don't they talk about this case? Why haven't they said anything about this case? They're fucking police department, why can't they have their saying it? I do know there was 2 law enforcement agencies, and the one believed the story of Sebastian going missing, and the other one did not. And we can all come to a good old guess and get it right that the one who believed that Sebastian just walked out of that house. We all know who believed that. But was it the Hendersonville Police Department or the TBI that did not believe it? And it was Hendersonville PD who was at the scene first, not Sumner County. Hendersonville Police were at the scene first, not Sumner County. Because if you listen to that phone call as well, the dispatch call, you know when they're going round doing door to door, you hear one officer say, such and such house, that's one of the police officers' house, the police officer lives there or something like that. You hear him say something, he's on duty now. You need to listen to that again, because that tells you a lot. But it was the Hendersonville Police Department that was there first, before the Sumner County Sheriffs. Why was that? Being as he phoned Sumner County Sheriffs up first. Because he didn't get through to Sumner County Sheriff. Because they don't open till 8 a.m. All calls going to their office would be redirected to dispatch. Direct to dispatch. They then put the foot call out to Hendersonville Police Department. Because Sumner County office is not open till 8 a.m. Hendersonville PD are open 24/7. Sumner County Sheriff's Department is not. Anyway, I didn't want to be on here too long tonight because I was feeling tired. I don't know why. I just feel really wiped out again. So, and I got 2 days to prepare myself tomorrow. I wasn't going to go. My daughter-in-law asked me if I wanted to go to the gala. This gala, summer gala thing on Saturday. And I went, no. I said, because it'll be peeing down with rain. Right? So she's going, okay, no problem. I went round to my daughter. I said, you going to that summer gala? Yeah, and you are, Mum. No, I'm not. No. Mum, you are. It's the first time you've never been there before. You're going. I don't like, no, you're going. So, I've had this afternoon, this evening, and all day tomorrow, Saturday morning, to prepare myself to go out Saturday to a park where I know it's going to piss down with rain, and the fair rides are going to be so expensive it's going to make me bankrupt. So why no forensics was done between 2 police? Exactly. Hendersonville police were there first, so why didn't they shut the scene off? So you can't blame Sumner County for that, because the PD were there first, not the Sumner County. So they made the mistake by not shutting that scene down, that area down. And then they must have handed it over to Sumner County when they come on at 8 o'clock. But by then, they'd been going round doing a lot of knock door run, you know what I mean? By 8 o'clock, they'd been knocking on the doors. So which one do you think it was? Do you think it was... We know that Sumner County believes the story that Sebastian just walked out of the house. We know it's them, because Craddock is a lying ass toad. Right? So we know it's them who believes that Sebastian just walked out the house. But whatever law enforcement office is it that does not believe him? Is it Hendersonville Police Department or is it TBI? I'm thinking Hendersonville Police Department because we've never heard anything about them. They've never said anything on this case. But that was the first on scene. Anyway, I'm going to have to go because it's gone 10 o'clock. I need to take my tablet and I need to get some sleep. Turn my heating off. That's probably another reason I'm getting tired again. So my heating's on. So anyway, I'm going to go. I will be doing a live on the John Benet case. If anyone's interested in that, I will be doing a live on that. Might do that tomorrow night, actually, once I've watched some more videos on it. I've got some more information written down. So, until next time, hope you all stay safe. And please, if you're watching on replay and you got this far, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe. And please go over and subscribe to my other channel, True Crime and Injustice. I don't go live on there. I just put videos out. And the longest is like 40-something minutes. The shortest is about 13, 14 minutes. I'll try and keep it to about 15, 20 minutes each video. Right? And it's about the injustices that everyday public have with crime. When a crime is being committed and an injustice is rife, like in the UK at the moment. You can go and behead someone or try and decapitate someone. But you're not at fault. It's the right, what is it? It's the far right that are at fault. It's Tommy Robinson and who else? Elon Musk. They're at fault. Right? So go and subscribe to that channel as well. I do put videos out. I try and get one out every other day, depending on how I'm feeling. But I've got about 5 of them out so far. And most of them are based on knife crimes. Most of them are all knife crimes. All to do with knife crimes at the moment. So, you're welcome, Michelle. Good night, Michelle, and you're welcome, Jen. So, till next time, stay safe.
I'll never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last and to believe